All right, welcome back to another episode. We appreciate you coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Liking, sharing, letting your friends know about the show helps us out a ton. Helps move us up in whatever algorithm you're using to listen. Oddly enough, we've been getting a lot of more listens on our YouTube shorts. Oddly enough, so like the snippets, and then I gotta see. We ended up moving up some rankings. We're still at number 16 for the conservative shows. Oddly enough,
which is strange.
Yes, I don't understand that at all.
But are there any like lefty shows or liberal shows?
I'm sure there's a bunch with from the Midas Touch people.
Okay,
but they just got bought out by I think they got bought by shoot. It was one of the big news people. It wasn't bought. I think they got syndicated to it, so their show's going to be on some TV channel now.
Oh, so it's going to be terrible.
They're not exactly a great show to begin with, but that's one of the higher rated liberal, quote unquote liberal shows out there.
Right.
But it's the same talking points as the mainstream MSNBC. It's weird. It's they just copied MSNBC.
So let's copy a failing medium.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But I mean, according to them, they get millions of listeners a show. But I've got this. I think I've said this before. I got a weird.
A whole bunch of jokes just flew through my head. Oh, they count listeners like they count votes, or
yeah.
Maybe that's how we got labeled conservative, because of statements like that.
Maybe. I mean,
I just like to make a joke. Though,
we tend to shit on everybody, but I tend to think a lot of these bigger shows that are backed by much bigger organizations, I'm pretty sure they have a formula down where they pay for these views, quote unquote, or listens, because it's really cheap to do it. If I wanted to boost our YouTube views with no video up to 250,000 views a show, you could do it like that. You could just buy them.
Right.
And you go on Fiverr, and some dude in Pakistan makes sure you get your 250,000 views on an episode. It's real easy to do.
Right.
But are they real? You can always tell. So look at the subscribers on the channel and look at the views per subscriber. If they've got 1 million subscribers but only 30,000 views, you know the subscribers are mostly fake.
Right.
And probably those 30,000 views, half of them were probably paid for. So they really got 15,000.
So here's a view. So you know how you'll watch a video, reel, whatever is coming up, and it'll be very short, or they'll have text in it, and you'll see the punchline or the key or whatever it is, and whatever the key piece of information is, the thing you need to read, the reason you watch this short, couple second long video, and it's so quick you can't read it. So you watch it again. Is each subsequent watch of that a view?
Yeah. So especially with shorts. Yeah.
Okay. So if I just left, so sometimes I'll be cooking and watching something, I'll have to go turn some bacon over or do whatever, and that video will just keep playing on my phone. Is each one of those a view?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when my kid falls asleep watching some nonsense on YouTube, and it's just over and over again, that whatever idiot made that video, well, I shouldn't say idiot because they're smart, but that's all views.
Yeah, it doesn't count unique views.
Okay.
So if one person watches it 10 times, that's 10 views. Mm-hmm. But it's still one person.
Right.
And then the other side of it is if you watch, I believe it's 10 or 30 seconds of a video, it counts as a view. So even ours are 55 minutes long. Mm-hmm. If someone listens or watches to it on YouTube for more than 10 to 15 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever the amount is, it counts. Then it is then a view. So they don't even have to listen to the whole 55 minutes. It'll still count.
Okay.
Now they could have listened for 55 or 30 seconds or whatever, how many seconds, heard us say something they really, really hated, turned it off. It still counts. So, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
But they didn't listen to the whole show. And then the other problem with podcasts is most of these podcasts, they'll be like, oh, I get 30 million views or 30 million listeners. Nobody knows. None of them know.
Yeah.
Now, their downloads. Now, here's the thing, though. Downloads you can pay for, too. So everyone gets what their download numbers are. They don't get what their listener numbers are. Mm-hmm. So, like, someone can stream the show, and it doesn't count as a download because they're not downloading the actual audio file. You have to go in your app, whatever app you're listening to, and you have to select, download the show so you can listen offline.
Okay.
If you don't, if you just press it, it's a listen, but it doesn't. A lot of these metrics places, they don't count for streams. It's weird. It's a whole weird thing.
Which is far. It's a long way from Nielsen ratings, where they'd send a survey out and you'd fill out the thing and mail it back, or they put was it how where they had a box on your TV and it would record when and where you watched it.
Yep. So that's how those Nielsen, like you got a box in the mail, and you plugged it in, and it basically counted the views. It worked like a digital counter, and then it would send the information back. Mm-hmm. So those were actual views back then. Yeah. Nowadays, nobody. I think a lot of them, because listens and views, they're tied to sponsorship money. Given inside baseball here. So, like, for us, I think we've always said we're right around 10 to 15,000. I'm probably the only person that underestimates our listeners. Mm-hmm. It could be upwards of 20, 30, 40,000, and I would never know.
Right.
To be honest with you, I don't think it would matter either way, because we have our sponsor. Adam Chubbuck, by the way, is a sponsor of the show. Go to techmd.com for your real estate needs in this ever-changing real estate environment, especially with mortgage rates going down. Might be a good time for buyers to get in the market right now. More inventory on the market, inventory staying on the market longer, so now you don't feel rushed to buy a home if you are a buyer. So go to Adam Chubbuck, tacmd.com. That's TACMD.com. Always want to thank him for sponsoring the show. And so we have a very low ad rate for the number of listens. It's probably why he still sponsors the show. Yeah. It's one of the cheapest ways to advertise. Because I know there are other shows, like there's one guy, he's paying he gets $8,000 a year for his studio hosting rights. So every time he's like, hey, this is the Dave show from the Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer studio.
Yeah, just like WTOP used to be like from the Geico Glass Enclosed Nerve Center.
Yeah,
and I haven't listened to WTOP in forever, but
Howard Stern used to do it from the top of whatever building or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I mean, that guy's gets $8,000 a year from that. Plus he's selling 3 ads per show. I think he charges like $1,000 a month. We're nowhere near that.
Right.
But it's also like we don't know what the fuck we're doing. So that's probably why. But
this also isn't this isn't a primary source of income.
True.
This is a hobby. So
yeah, it just that's probably why people listen to it though. Because we don't treat it like a job.
Yeah.
I mean, we put out a show every week. I mean, but we've put out we've missed a week. I think we missed 1 week or we've missed 2 weeks in 5 years. By the way, this is going to go out first weekend of March. First week of April is our 5th year.
Wow.
We have done it for 5 years.
Yeah.
We'll be beginning year 6, I think. 2020 we started this.
It was 21.
Was it 21? Mm-hmm. I thought we started during COVID.
Which 21 was still COVID.
I thought 20 was when it started, the full shutdown year.
I don't know.
I thought that's when we did it. I'll have to go back. I got to see when the first. So maybe is it 4 years? That I don't fucking care.
Well, it's 26, so it would be 5 years this year.
So we'll be doing the 5th year.
Yeah, we start the 5th year.
So we'll have finished the 4th.
Yeah. Who knows? Nobody knows.
Math is not arguing. The maths.
Yeah.
Look, someone can comment the maths ain't mathin', if they'd like. I'm scrolling on my phone, because I have to tell my wife that I fed the dog. Otherwise, he'll get second breakfast, and he's already fat. He doesn't look fat though. I'm gonna do the old thing. He holds it well.
He carries it well.
He carries it well. Yeah. Like, people don't look at him like, ooh, what a chunky dog.
Right.
But when I go to the vet, they tell me he's a chunky dog, and they make me feel bad about it. Like,
Just tell him he's jacked.
he's extra swole.
Yeah. He's been freaking...
It's a new category.
He's been getting after it.
Yeah. Which he hasn't, because he doesn't really leave the couch that often. Which is what, like, my wife, I think she does it on purpose. She purposefully, like, riles him up into zoomies just so he gets some exercise.
I mean, it's a tactic.
Because if we take him outside, he'll do like a lap around the house, and then he just lays down on the grass. It's like, no, this is your exercise. Go. And no,
You ever take him to the dog park?
we do.
Yeah.
And he runs like same thing. He's got like a good. He's got a good 2.5 minutes in him of running with the other dogs,
And then he's like, nah.
and then he goes and lays in the shade, or he'll find other humans to pet him. Like, he goes to the other people there with their dogs to get away from their dogs, and he's over there making friends. I'm like, no, they don't want to pet you, man. Like, just leave them alone.
They're here so they can ignore their dog.
Correct. So yeah, I don't know. He's a weird. The funny part is though, he's probably the perfect dog. Like, I didn't really want a dog, but for someone who didn't want a dog, he's probably the best dog because he's not super into it. Mm-hmm. The only thing he wants to do is sleep and be pet. I can handle that. That's my level. That's my level of energy for a dog.
Right.
So
a bulldog would be right up. Well, it sounds like this dog is pretty.
he's close.
Bulldogs are great. They
make too much noise. I couldn't deal with a.
Yeah. They don't do a whole lot.
No, but they breathe.
My friend has one, and the bulldog just like if she they have a split foyer, and if she goes down the steps to meet you, like that's the exercise of the day. Like, she's done.
Right. I'm trying. Where are we going with this?
I don't know. We were going to talk about Iran today.
We still are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only 12 minutes in. We haven't blown the whole episode.
On nonsense.
Yeah. So if you remember what we talked about, leave us a note in the comments if you can. Or to be honest with you, I think our DMs, as the kids said, the DMs are open on the Instagram. On the gram.
Slide into them.
Right, slide into our DMs. That's not creepy. That's so weird. So yeah, we're going to talk about Iran. And the funny part of all of it, there's nothing funny about war, by the way. It's my nervous thing that I say, it's funny to talk about this.
Right.
I don't know what to think about the actual war. We can get into the response to the whole thing later. I guess it's one of those things I just got to continue. One, it doesn't make a difference what my opinion is, right? It's not going to change what's happening.
It clearly, the American political class clearly doesn't give a shit about the opinion of the people who live here. So,
yeah, that's pretty obvious at this point.
I'm pretty sure that most, if you're just not even to say like the average dude, if you kind of said, "Hey, we're spending all this money to do this," or it could be used for something else here. No, but then I guess you become you're a nationalist or something at that point, which is bad.
I'm sure they'll make it into some ism.
Yeah. So
the response is interesting. Okay, the war part. The Ayatollah is dead. That's been confirmed by Iran and the U.S. and Israel and everybody else. Oddly enough, guess who's with us on this? The Europeans.
Okay.
This is the one that's really strange to me. So, every Middle East country, the only thing they condemned was Iran's response strikes to the other bases in the Middle East. The U.S. bases in the Middle East. That's where they struck their missiles. Mm-hmm. They shot some at Israel as well. And oddly enough, that might have been their biggest mistake in all of this, because they lost all of the Middle East support that they were going to get from an Iran-U.S. strike. all the neutrality is gone now, and Europe, so we're not the only ones with bases out there. Like Britain's got some, France has got some, like NATO has some. Like there are bases all over with European countries. For all of the bullshit we got sold about how Europe hates us and there's a strife, and well, guess who's with us on this one? They're right there, right? The only ones that have kind of condemned it, but really kind of haven't, are China and Russia. Shocker, right? Yeah. They're never going to be in favor of anything the U.S. does. Whether that's by design or not, I don't know. I tend to think China and the U.S. see that there's a benefit to having an adversarial relationship. It benefits both countries to be like frenemies.
Right. Because you need to have some sort of enemy so that you can, buy weapons and support these massive militaries.
If you don't have it, then what are you spending it on, right?
What do you need it for?
So, and people are like, well, China doesn't make money on the military-industrial complex. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They're just selling to different countries. Never mind the fact a lot of this shit's made in China. Like, we don't make drones. I mean, we make the big drones, but we don't make the little drones.
Correct.
So I don't really know. I mean, look, you talk to Iranians here in the U.S., they'll tell you, most of them left because of what happened in '79 with the Islamic Revolution. If you talk to Iranians, they are the first ones to tell you they're not Arabs. They're the first ones to tell you that they are Persian.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, because Iran can kind of trace its lineage back to the Persian Empire.
Correct. I mean, the country of Iran now sits in the middle where the Persian Empire
right.
is.
And the Persian Empire was, like the mathematics system that we use came from there.
It's a very rich history.
Yeah.
And a very important one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not before 1979, it was not a Muslim country. It was not an Arab country. And the thought behind it was that revolution, it was in response to the Shah. Yeah, and it was helped, the Shah was helped by the United States. They thought that the people saw him as a puppet. They were trying to remove him. I think they used the Islamic Revolution as a way to remove the Shah, but I don't think they thought it would go the way it went. And how this one smaller group of individuals were the ones that ended up taking control. But they were also the ones that led the revolution. So to the victor goes the spoils, I guess, in that part. But I guess a lot of others didn't think it was going to go the way it went. But then you're stuck, or they left and they didn't go back. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about any of that shit. I mean, are you one way or the? I mean, look, I was more anti-war. I don't really think we should have done it.
No, I'm still anti-war. It's so weird because when I was a younger person, early 20s, I was always like, yeah, get them. Like when Iraq started,
mm-hmm.
I was all about it. Afghanistan, all about it. And at the time in my life, I was of the age where if it got that bad, I was going to be one of the dudes going over there. In fact, I was considering just going, like just enlisting, and a lot of my buddies did. I was too fat, so it kind of, had I been in shape, I would have gone. And as I get older, and now have very little chance of going over there, at my current age, but I have kids that could. But even, let's not think about not wanting your children to go over there, or to be drafted or serve or go to war. But just myself, like the older I get, the more I look back and say, why are we doing any of this? I can't point to a single, because and this supposedly isn't regime change, but come on, that's going to be the end goal.
Yeah.
I can't look back to a single regime change operation that this country has engaged in that turned out good. We just left one where we replaced the Taliban with the Taliban. The Taliban's apparently good now, or not as bad.
It's the nicer Taliban.
Right, Taliban 2.0.
That's right. Reinvented.
Yeah.
We let hey, look, they let girls to go to school for like a year and a half.
Right, and then they said no.
And then they said no.
So that whole, we can't get Baltimore right, and we're going to go overthrow a government of a country 6,000 miles. It doesn't make any sense.
Mike, the murders are down in Baltimore.
Sure.
I'm sure they're all being reported too.
Yeah.
But they're down.
Right.
And the businesses are leaving because it's safer, Mike.
Yeah,
not because it's more dangerous. All of downtown is chock full of
too
businesses.
safe, too nice, and too safe.
That's right. The rents got too high. That's what happened, right?
Right, because it got so nice.
Yes.
That they all had. But so for that, I'm against it. I don't want to see bombs fall. I just think there are better ways to run this country than by sending our money overseas to foreign countries, some of which have a higher standard of living than we do. And yet we continue to do it when we have places like Baltimore, places like Flint, Michigan. Like, they still don't have clean drinking water in Flint, Michigan. And we're going to go piss money away dropping bombs on Iran.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting part of that is, so take D.C., for example. Oh, D.C.'s fine. The murder rates are going down. Well, then Trump sends in the National Guard. And now you got people being like, oh, this is how life can be without violence and crime? But he can't do that with any other city because, that's a federal piece of land. Well, but at the same time, that's where, if you're gonna use troops, why not do it to protect your own?
Sure,
rather than sending them overseas.
And it doesn't have to be uniformed American military personnel. It can be taking that money, and I'm not saying you'll have uniformed personnel that's going to be wearing a patch of whatever police department, or have funding to get equipment or hire employees, do whatever it needs to be, rather than taking that money and sending it to Ukraine. And I look at it and I say, okay, that's maybe a better use of resources then, and we'll get a better impact here. But then the leaders of those cities
squander the money,
right?
Yeah,
or they'll come out with a program,
and the program is going to pay contractors that happen to be their buddies,
right? And then the program exists, like the homelessness in California is a perfect example of it. They spend so much money to fix homelessness, and they keep spending more money, and the homelessness keeps going up. But that becomes a thing to perpetuate, because now you've got this huge organization that exists to end homelessness. Well, if you ended it, then they end themselves. Right. So really, they have no interest in ending homelessness, because if they do, then what's the next thing? So, and spending money on things like this, like I think I've used the example before. If I said I'm going to build a new high school to improve the high schools in the area, at some point there'd have to be a high school there.
Right.
If I was going to say we're going to build a transit system, we're going to build a high-speed, efficient rail line that goes from Annapolis to Baltimore to alleviate traffic on Route 2 and 97. Okay, cool. That would be great. I think a lot of people that use that would be for it. However, at some point there'd have to be a train that runs back and forth.
Well, and that's not even a hypothetical, because that's happening in California. Mm-hmm. Like that high-speed rail that they pump billions upon billions into.
Yeah. I was just listening to Adam Carolla, and it's supposed to go from two cities that have no, like that's the section that's, no one goes from those two places.
LA to San Francisco, yeah. No, well, never mind the fact, it's like, you can get there. It's called an airplane. Mm-hmm. Europe has all these great trains. I'm pretty sure isn't the U.S. like twice the size of Europe?
Yeah,
at least. So you can go from the shores of France like Brussels or whatever, or whatever, like Latvia. I don't know. That's like going from St. Louis to New York.
Yeah.
It's a 2.5 hour flight. Mm-hmm. So it's maybe a 5-6 hour train ride. Okay, that could make sense. But if you got to go from California, you got to go from LA to New York, or even LA to San Francisco. I mean, that's like going from New York down to like Savannah.
Yeah.
It's the entire coastline.
And Europeans don't understand the distances involved. So they'll come here and they'll say, "Oh, we want to go see Chicago." That's a significant trip. Mm-hmm. Where you can go to Paris, like the middle school trips, where they spend a week and they go to like they do it for the languages. So they'll do.
They went to like ours went to Quebec.
Right.
That was a 12-hour. They took a 12-hour bus ride.
Yeah, it sounds like hell.
It wasn't great for them.
You sat that one out.
Oh yeah, my wife went on it though. But like they went over, they did like a red-eye bus ride, so they would sleep on the way up, and on the way back though, the bus like they were trying to beat the snowstorm, so they woke up at 3 a.m. versus 8 a.m. to leave, and then the heat didn't work on the bus, so they drove 3 hours without heat, and then stayed at some rest stop for like 4 hours. So it's like they tried to cheat the storm, and then had to stop anyway. Oh. They were like in a McDonald's for like 4 hours while the mechanic came and fixed the heat. That was awful.
But yeah, and they don't get the scale of it, right? So they don't understand that you know the high school trip for the kids the take the foreign languages. They'll do Paris, Spain, Barcelona, Paris, London, or something like that. And it's a week. You've 3 major countries. I mean, that's not and they do spend a decent amount of time in each one in a week. So you can't do that. Like, oh, we're here in DC for the week. We were thinking about going to Boston. Like, homie, that's a 10-hour trip. Should be 8. It might take you 14.
But you can take Amtrak.
Yeah.
And it'll take you 7 hours. It's a 7-hour train ride.
Yeah.
Roughly. Maybe 8.
And that's, I mean, the Northeast Quarter is what keeps Amtrak running for the entire country.
But I mean, that would actually counteract what Corolla was saying, though. In that maybe if there was a train, it would connect the two cities a little bit better, right? Like DC, like the difference is like DC all the way to Boston. Don't think of it as there's DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Wilmington, Newark, New York, Providence, Boston. That's how people see it. When you look at it on a map, though, if you look at how it's lit up from space at night, it looks like one large, enormous city.
Sure.
Essentially, it's gone from metropolis. It's now a megalopolis. Yep. It's one. When they call it the Northeast Quarter, that's the city. Yeah. It's all interconnected. People live in Baltimore and work in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. People live in Wilmington and commute to DC.
Joe Biden did.
Right. But I mean, like I had a boss when I worked in DC. He lived north of Philadelphia. He took Amtrak to work daily. Mm-hmm. Like it's not just Joe Biden doing it. Right. Like they're actually. That's why those commuter trains are packed in the morning. And so it's not just Amtrak. Like Mark has their own commuter train that runs on the same lines at the same stations, and those are packed.
Yep. VRE.
But it's one big interconnected region, right? So maybe if they had that high-speed train from LA to San Francisco and all the stops in between, it might work. The only problem with that train line is it goes from LA. So California, I think California is like 2 different states almost. You've got the western coastline, and then you've got the inner portion. Mm-hmm. The inner portion is fairly desolate. There isn't much going on there. It's a lot of farmland. California produces a lot of food.
Yeah.
And essentially what they're trying to do is they're making the train line go east from LA to go to that no man's land. Then it kind of goes straight up through the no man's land, and then it cuts back in west and hits up like Oakland, San Francisco, Merced, and all this other shit. they didn't just go up the coast, like, because they can't. There's too much shit in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was probably the better route to go inland. And I actually think that train line will do a whole heck of a lot for the economy of California. Because then you can have offshoots. Now, Brightline is already putting in a train line from LA to Las Vegas, which is a huge...
Oh, yeah.
There's a... People make that weekend trip, right? The train line, and the reason why Brightline did it is because it's profitable, right? This high-speed rail line, they could have done that by, like, that high-speed rail from LA to San Francisco should have been done. Should have been done 5-10 years ago. But California and all its regulation and all the environmental shit and all the people complaints, all the NIMBY people,
Yeah.
right? That's what starts to hold a lot of the infrastructure projects back here. Now look, I'm all pro-environment and shit, right? But you literally have a transportation project that will help the environment by taking cars off the road. For all you environmental fuckers.
Right.
Like, I believe a train is 10 times less polluting per passenger than cars are.
Sure.
And you want to fuck it up through your petty bullshit. Oh, the whales. There's no fucking whales inside California. The whales aren't coming on shore.
Trains don't affect whales.
Correct. Windmills do, apparently.
Yeah.
No. Offshore windmills.
Yeah.
They're killing the whales.
Yeah.
They're interfering
Yeah.
with the whales. But people just get in their own way with that. And I know Corolla's, he's a hard right person now. But he's also a frustrated Californian.
Yeah.
Right?
And he didn't bail.
No.
Like
he
Rogan
didn't.
bailed a lot but Corolla is still there.
Yeah, and he's not going anywhere. Because that's his home.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, it's like if you were to say like California should be paradise, really. Mm-hmm. The weather's awesome most places. You've got the ocean. Like in a day's trip, you could go skiing on Saturday and be sitting on the beach on Sunday.
Yeah.
You can do all kinds of the climate is great year round for the most part.
That's why people go there.
Yeah.
That's why people go there. 70 and sunny every day in Southern California. If you want 80 and sunny, you go to San Diego.
Yep.
A little bit warmer,
Yep.
but just as nice.
Yep. I'd say the food's better in San Diego.
Dude, you'll never have better Mexican food. That's for damn sure. And personally, I think we got some pretty good Mexican food here. But
We do.
But one of my buddies, old buddies, when I used to work in the medical research industry. One of the salespeople for some of the stuff we used to buy, medical supplies, Mexican dude, lived in Southern California, moved his family out here. He said, "Man, this Mexican food shit." I was like, "What do you mean, man? This stuff tastes great." He goes, "Oh man, you got to come out.
Yeah.
It'll blow your mind if you think this is good." And he moved back, and then he moved to Arizona because California was fucking his shit up.
Well, Arizona is like the West Coast Florida. So
It is now, yeah. I mean, especially now. I mean, it used to be just retirees. Now a lot of those people that left California went to Arizona, and it wasn't. Like, and people are like, "Well, Arizona's a blue state too." Yeah, it's not as blue.
no, it's a different kind of blue.
It ain't crazy blue, like California turned into. That's a weird joint, man. Like, there's probably so much money corruption in that state. Like, why? Because it's a blue state? No, man. It's because it's the 5th largest economy in the world, and they can't unfuck that state, no matter how hard they try.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, like you said, them homelessness shit. There's so many non-governmental organizations that were stood up to get the money to help people that didn't help people. It's the Minnesota shit. It's the Leering Center shit. Yeah, it's like and people are like, "Oh, that doesn't happen. People wouldn't do that. They wouldn't take money from kids." Fuck yeah, they would.
100% would. Well, it's when you look at these organizations, you have to see the breakdown of the funding they get. Where does it go? And so much of it goes to staff, benefits, administrative stuff, costs, and the actual amount that goes to whatever cause they're, everyone, October comes around, everyone's like, "Oh, Susan G. Komen, the pink ribbon," and all that. it's breast cancer awareness. Is what, like, everyone's aware of it. Like, what do they actually? And a lot of it just goes to support the organization. I don't fault the people that start it, but I think what ends up happening is they become these things. Like Wounded Warrior is another one. They become these things that exist, and like, oh, and then you get people that, rather than getting into it to fight the fight for the cause, it ends up being, the original people leave, and then the new guys come in. Like, oh, we can make this beneficial to us, to me, and then all of a sudden it starts going more and more and more that way, till eventually it's like, what are you guys actually doing? Selling blankets and paying your salaries.
Yeah, and to put it in money perspective, imagine you start an organization and you say, we're only going to have a 10% overhead rate. So basically, 90 cents for every dollar that comes in is going to the actual cause, and only 10 cents per dollar is going to the administration of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Imagine it's completely reversed. Now it's 90 cents on the dollar is going to administration, and only 10 cents per dollar is going to actually do the thing.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before when I worked at Hopkins. For any on-site research money, off the top, Hopkins was taking 63.5 cents for every dollar. And that was before any salaries were paid. That was just the cut to Hopkins to pay, and they said it was to pay for the lab space, and that was to pay for the lights, the trash, like all the administrative, the cost to run the place,
right.
Basically. 63.5 cents per dollar. All right. Now take another, I'll be generous, only 25 cents to pay for salaries.
Uh-huh.
So now you're at 88 cents.
So you got 12 cents left. You haven't even like mixed something in a test tube yet.
Right. You haven't even put chemicals in the beaker yet.
Yeah.
Never mind of it. You got to pay for them. I'll even grant that paying for chemicals and the beakers and all that shit. Let's say that's just that's actually considered research money.
Yeah.
We get 12 cents.
12%.
Think about that.
Yeah.
12%, and this is at a major university.
Yeah.
And they're not the only ones with that percentage. Mm-mm. And that's the federally approved rate.
Yeah.
It's approved at the federal level. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's offsite, okay, now the overhead rate for that university where the stuff isn't even being done, 20%. So now you got 80 cents left to do whatever project you need to offsite.
Yeah, so like essentially 20% of it is just to put the Hopkins name on it.
Yes. And that's exactly what it is. So essentially, it's the professor. The professor gets it. The professor puts their name on it, so he's going to get a cut. The university puts their name on it behind it, so they get a cut. And then if you do it offsite or in conjunction with another university, they get a cut. Like, everyone's going to get a cut. So even an offsite one, let's say I'll be generous and I'll say 60 cents on the dollar goes to the actual research. Mm-hmm. But that's probably not even true either, because if you're offsite, you're probably in country somewhere. Some of that money is going to pay off a local person where corruption is the norm.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you've got to pay someone off so you can do your work in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're probably, I'd say generously, you're looking at 40 cents on the dollar is going to research in a different country. Is that worth it?
Yeah.
At that point? I mean, but I think United Way went through this. People were like, oh my God, it was like 95% admin.
Oh, well.
And so they got blasted for it.
The last two jobs I've had were United Way. And the previous one was, they were into it. Like, they were putting hard pressure on you to, and at the time, this is many, many years ago, I think I was making $14 an hour, and like, oh, if you donate X amount to United Way, it's this and that. And it's, okay, well, what do you guys do? And I'm trying to figure out, like, what exactly do you guys do?
Yeah.
Except exist.
What is it that you do?
Yeah. But it's very much a I think with information that comes out now, you have to. At some point, people always bemoan the internet but you know what? I think some people bemoaning it are upset because, like, now the wolves pulled off the people's eyes. They can see like, what is this bullshit?
Right. Right.
So,
But then you got the counter thing. It was like, if you call it bullshit, they're like, well, don't you want to save the whales?
yeah,
Yeah, but
you're not.
nobody's doing it.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing it in name. Like, they're doing it in name only.
Yeah.
It's like the rhino thing. Republican in name only.
Yeah.
Well,
Charity in name only.
Yeah. A sino.
And then some of the ones that call you, so some of these national charitable organizations, they'll say, do you want to donate to, support your veterans? The telemarketers that are calling you are getting most of that money that you give through them. Now, the organization doesn't have to put any money, they don't have to pay for any of this stuff. So, like, yeah, they'll get a cut, but it's not a very big cut.
No.
It's, and then some of these fundraisers that different, selling of the popcorn and of the freaking candy bars and all the.
Even Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
I know those economics.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm like, it would be better if you just wrote a check to your local Girl Scout troop. I don't particularly like any of the Girl Scout cookies. Even before, when I would sit and consume a whole sleeve of a whole box of Girl Scout cookies. Mm-hmm. Like there are plenty of other cookie type snacks that I prefer. Like if they had just put a Girl Scout sticker on a box of oatmeal cream pies, I'd buy those. The other ones, I'm like, I don't. I buy them because like my friends' daughters are selling them.
Well, I mean, I'll give the economics of it. So yesterday, my daughter had what they call a cookie booth, where they stand in front of a store or something. They sell cookies like in front of a grocery store or something like that. They sold 92 cookies. They made about, I think it was $87. Goes to the actual troop. Mm-hmm. The rest went to Girl Scouts of America.
Yeah.
Someone during that cookie booth gave them a $100 donation. Mm-hmm. And the donation goes straight to the troop. They don't have to cut it up.
Yeah.
So that one $100 donation earned the troop more money than selling 93 boxes of cookies. Like, that's incredible. Mm-hmm. But they sell so many boxes of cookies, it adds up, right? So they do, like, my daughter's troop, I think they did 4 cookie booths. So they probably earned another $400 for their troop, roughly, because they sold like 120 in one, 90 in another. But with $100 donation, they made 1/5 of the money in zero amount of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost like, wait a minute, why are we? I could probably get a $1,000 donation if I really tried. I can find someone to give a $1,000 donation directly to my daughter's troop, and they wouldn't have to sell any cookies. Mm-hmm. Like, well, it produces an entrepreneurial spirit in the girls. Like, no, it's a slave force.
Yeah.
You're basically you've got a free sales force. I'm sorry, not free, because technically they're getting 83 cents a box. But essentially, they got a free, motivated sales force.
Yeah.
To go sell these cookies.
Which are getting smaller and smaller, by the way.
The sleeve of Thin Mints this year apparently is like 2 to 3 cookies less than in prior years.
Yeah.
As
that's
someone
where
pointed out to
some
me.
bean counter CEO douchebag is sitting there saying, "Oh, we can increase our profits by X amount by reducing the amount of cookies." They used to call them Samoas. Now they call them something else.
Caramel Delights.
Samoa's racist, apparently. Those things used to be like just like under the size of a hockey puck, and now they're like the size of a quarter. Mm-hmm. My wife bought some, and I ate my obligatory one Girl Scout cookie. And again, she doesn't get the ones I like. Thin Mints, no thanks. I'd rather not eat them at all.
I'm a shortbread person. I like the
Yeah.
the trefoils, I believe they're called.
Yes, yeah. And then I think there's one that has peanut butter or something. It's like an Oreo.
There's a peanut butter patty.
Yeah.
With it's like a chocolate covered. It's like a cookie, peanut butter, all covered in chocolate.
Yeah. So,
Delicious.
like these things, but
Not a butter knockoff.
yeah.
They got one of those too.
But I get those over the ones that my wife gets. So but I look at them like, this. How much was this? Like this is.
It was $6 for the
Yeah.
box.
And then another one. Some friends of ours I think it's for the middle school dance team. They're selling popcorn, so my wife buys $50 worth of popcorn, knowing that I like popcorn. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
This popcorn was 2 bags of popcorn, but not like full size bags, like a bag you get at the gas station to munch on when you're driving, to Ocean City or something. That's the size. Like, you spent $50. This better be the best popcorn in the world. It wasn't.
No, it did not. It did not make you come.
No.
Right? No. I mean, you can pay $50 and get a finishing service.
Oh yeah.
But going back, all right. So we'll go back to the original topic, which is Iran and this
Yeah,
thing.
we went way off the rails.
We went. Yeah, we. I don't know how we ended up there.
Went off the rails, including talking about a train.
Yes, I love trains.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with Iran, trying to figure out a way to word this. Let's talk about, I guess, I'm not a fan of regime change. You're not a fan of it. We got that part. And to be honest with you, all the people that are commenting online, they all think they know better. Mm-hmm. Because my wife asked me the other day, she goes, "What do you think about Iran?" Because I work in the government and all this shit, and I realize like what I'm about to say could get me in some trouble, and I really don't give a shit anymore. I don't think anything about it.
Yes. I don't think about anything about Iran. I don't think anything about Israel. I don't think anything about Ukraine. All these places. I don't
want to say I don't say that because that means like I'm not thinking about like people involved. Like with Israel and all that, I have an opinion, right? Mm-hmm. I have opinions on it. But my opinions are not going to affect what's happening. Mm-hmm. They're just not.
Yeah.
Like, I put on our Twitter feed a George Carlin quote. It's a rich people's club, and we ain't in it.
Yeah.
So why am I going to waste my time, my energy, and my mental health over even thinking about it? I have no control over that. Mm-hmm. I can have an opinion on it, of course.
Yeah.
But my opinion kind of is rooted in that there are people around the world that do jobs that none of us even know exist. And people joke about intelligence agencies and all this other shit. We've talked about this movie, Charlie Wilson's War. And there are certain people in that movie, and one of which was he was played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, and his actual name was Gus Avocados. And there are people in those agencies that actually know shit, that no one will ever be privy to. And they're the ones, hopefully, that are advising the people that are making decisions. And sometimes those people get in front of the right people, and shit happens. And sometimes even the right decision today could end up being the wrong decision tomorrow, right? Nobody commenting on Twitter could even fathom being put in that position. And I say that as someone who gets, again, I could be throwing myself under a bus here. I get monthly reports on shit. Like shit that could have happened that did not happen, mm-hmm. right? For a particular situation. I get them monthly. And it's not like I've ever gotten a report with nothing on it. Like there is shit that has been stopped monthly around the world that I see. And so I think everyone thinks of this utopian world where no one is out to do bad shit. And that's completely false. There are people out there that want to do bad shit.
Yeah.
Are they justified in it? Maybe, and I don't know. And I'm not there. I'm not here to judge. Everyone has their own set of circumstances. All I know is that there are certain people out there, whatever their motivations are, to do the most amount of harm to another set of individuals. And luckily, there are people in this world whose sole job it is to stop those people. Mm-hmm. So when other stuff that we actually see ends up happening or going down, I'm not in a position to say whether it was the right or wrong decision. Now, I think, and this is where I think that whole thing where we talked about Democrat messaging, there are people that voted for Donald Trump that voted for him as the non-war president.
Right.
And right now, the rebuttal to that is, and they're actually, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna are putting together legislation about war right. So do not think that Rand Paul is against this. Thomas Massey, there are actual GOP elected officials who have come out against this. Mm-hmm. So I do think there is a part of the electorate that feels like they got played. Does that mean they're going to vote Democrat next time? Probably not, because that side's so fucked up too right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Democrat talking points right now, like there was literally from our congressional representative, she put out this thing about, you voted for this guy to be the anti-war president and he just went to war. Like one of those things, like a nanny nanny boo boo type of thing. Mm-hmm. Like that's not going to get people to vote for you.
Right.
Like your whole stance is I hate Trump, not these are my ideas and they're better. Mm-hmm. Because the ideas that you and your party are doing are shit that nobody wants and people are voting against. Like they're literally not voting for your opponent, they're voting against you.
Yeah.
And you still haven't figured that shit out. Mm-hmm. And there are people that voted for Trump that are truly pissed off at Venezuela shit. They're truly pissed off about the talk of Cuba. They're pissed off about the whole shit with Canada. They're pissed off about the Iranian shit that just happened. They are pissed off at him.
Yeah, it's the whole America First
correct
crowd. So I think if you look at the Trump coalition, it was you've got your hardline MAGA people, then you had your America First people, and I think with Bobby Kennedy coming in, you had your Make America Healthy Again people.
Maha, as they say.
Yeah. The America First people are, which I think was a pretty big coalition of just regular average, like that's, I think a lot of your middle people came out of that, are comprised in there. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that are pissed off about, like me, like I'm pissed off about all this international shit. Now, what you said before about there are some smart people out there doing things, and General Mattis had a quote, and I couldn't remember exactly what it said, so I didn't want to misquote him, but he said there are some assholes in the world that just need to be shot, right? Mm-hmm. And true. Yes, there are. Yep. And could the Iranians be those people? Some of them, possibly. I don't know. So I'm not to the point where I say, just be isolationist and we're only going to work. Like that's too short-sighted. However, when you're the guy who's saying, no new wars, and in the first 2 years, you bombed Iran now twice, and the Venezuelan thing, and now they're saber rattling with Cuba. Apparently, the sanctions with Cuba's so bad, food shortages, fuel shortages, all like if an airplane lands in Cuba, they won't refuel it. Mm-hmm. So flights to Cuba will stop somewhere, fuel up, so they'll have enough gas to get into Cuba and then back out again. So Yeah, it's
And you want to know what the rebuttal is, though? Well, these aren't wars. we didn't. I guess I think I heard one talking point was we haven't lost any American lives. These are just operations. It's not war. It's not full out war. We don't have any boots on the ground. It's like you're interfering with a foreign country.
Yeah.
And he's like, but this is for America first because we're doing this for American interests. I think, Broseph, that's not what you said. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is something that Democrats could probably take advantage of, but they're fucking this up 6 ways from Sunday like normal. Because it's like you can't condemn Trump for doing it because when your boy was in charge, when Obama was in charge, he was worse on immigration as far as deporting people. Now deporting people is bad. Right. By the way, same ICE director. By the way, same dude. In fact, you could say he's done a shittier job this time around because he's deported less people than when your boy was in charge. And it's like you're going to call out hypocrisy with hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. You can't do that shit because you're being hypocritical again. Yeah. And people see through this shit. The internet exists. Just like they pulled up Trump's tweet from 2013. Guess what? The internet exists for your shit too. Yeah. You're not going to convince anybody that they voted for the wrong dude by doing this shit. You're just not. Mm-hmm. Like, stop being dumb. Like, I don't... and this is what we talked about. Like, we've been giving away free advice for years. Yeah. To companies, to political parties. Nobody wants to listen to us. No, because no one's taking us up on any of this shit. Mm-mm. And it's when we talked to Matt Bennett, he was like, "Yeah, you're right." Someone on the Democratic side. I thought it was interesting. And I re-listened to that conversation, and I read between the lines a little bit. And basically, he's like, "Yeah, we're in there talking to people, but they're listening to someone else." Yeah. It's like, man, as someone who wants a centrist like him to succeed. Like, I want him to succeed, to bring the Democrat Party back to some level of sanity. Like, whatever you got to do to convince people to come back to the middle, you need to do it. But the problem is, the money isn't in the middle. No. The money's in the fringes. That's what, I mean, we said this on that show. That's when something like, when Act Blue came out, when the micro donors took over, that's when all of this hyper partisan shit kind of kicked into high gear. Now, I don't know though. I don't know. I wish I knew how to fix it. People are like, oh, we're so divided. There have been times in history when we've been much more divided than this. Yeah, much more. If anything, I would say politics has gotten lazier. Because you don't have to have ideas anymore. All you have to do is piss somebody off. Sure. Because that's when they're going to donate. Mm-hmm. And politics,
it's a lot easier to piss people off now.
And in politics now, look, man, I think some people get into it with the most altruistic thoughts in mind. They go into it with the best of intentions, and then they get in there and the money's just that good. Yeah. They go, oh, well, what do you mean? Bernie's only worth a couple million? Yeah, a couple million that we know of. Mm-hmm. The man's been in there 30 plus years and hasn't done shit. Yeah. Hasn't advocated for... The weirdest thing is that we were making fun of that Trump RX thing. Trump, in under 2 years, was able to lower drug prices more than Bernie Sanders has in over 30 years. And no one sees through that shit.
Right. And one could make the argument, well, Trump's in the more powerful position and blah, 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 blah. But when the Democrats had what was it, 2010 when they passed
the ACA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a super majority. They could have done a lot more than they did, and they pretty much gave a giant handout to insurance companies. They love it. But drug prices never came down after that.
No, in fact, because all of the subsidy money went to the insurance companies, it skyrocketed premiums. Mm-hmm. Because they knew they could charge more because the government was going to pay it.
Sure.
What the fuck?
Every time they get involved. And Trump does that, and I know we're butting up against the end here, but have you seen the Trump class? So he does do Trump RX, good. And they come out with the Trump class battleship.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. He wants to put his name on every fucking thing.
So, and I'm looking at this thing, and being a military history nerd, the last battleship commission was commissioned in World War II. There was a whole other class, the Montana class, that they were going to build. And two things happened. The war ended, and they realized that battleships weren't the king of the seas anymore. It was now the aircraft carrier. So they took a Montana class hull that they were constructing. And I think it became one of the aircraft carriers. So it's like, okay, and no one since has built a battleship. Nobody, because they know that they're obsolete.
What is it, destroyers or something now?
Everything's guided missile cruisers, aircraft carriers.
Like, what escorts the aircraft carrier?
There's guided missile cruisers, frigates, destroyers, and there's a whole bunch of. They all look the same.
A supply ship. Yeah.
They all these ships now look the same because essentially they're just shooting missiles off of them,
Right.
or launching jets off them. There's like big aircraft carriers and then other small ships. The point being is that these vessels aren't needed. There's a reason no Navy has built a battleship in the last 80 years. Nowhere in the world is. That's the British, French, American, Chinese. No one has them. But Trump's going to go and build one. And he says, well, it's to revitalize the once strong American maritime industry. The American maritime industry used to be very strong, and you assholes offshored it. These ships are all built in other places. And then you have laws that prevent that, all the shipping these ships are all flagged in other countries because of just laws. So there's no American flagged cargo vessels. They're all foreign.
Well, because I think we only have, I want to say there's 2 or 3 shipbuilding companies in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And they are backlogged with American military ship.
Yeah.
So there actually is no production capacity to build just container ships and shit like that. Plus, it would just cost too much.
Yeah.
Like, we're the only ones that can afford to pay American wages for American shit.
Yeah.
But I wish you, like, and I get why he does it to piss people off. Like, when he put his name on the Kennedy Center,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you knew that was going to piss fucking people off. Like, so, like, you did it to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, can you, and that's where he fucks things up, in my opinion. Like, help the people that are supporting you. Like, don't put them out there in front of you as a shield to take those bullets for you because you're putting your name on shit.
Yeah.
When they say, "Oh, see, he's a narcissist," those they're all fucking narcissists.
Yeah.
This one just happens to be putting his name on shit.
This one happens to be just open with it.
It reminds me of a saying. It's like, if you're as good as you think you are, others will recognize your greatness. You don't have to tell people how good you are if you're that good.
Yeah.
People will tell you. They'll put your name on shit posthumously.
Mm-hmm.
When you put your name on shit, it makes you look like an asshole.
Right.
So, but then again, though, I think everyone thought he was an asshole anyway. It's like, that's not news.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people didn't vote for him because he's a super awesome dude. Kid Rock, he's a really funny guy.
I think a lot of people voted for him because he's not.
He's not them.
Yeah.
He's not them.
Yeah.
That's how we got independence. Mm-hmm. He's not them.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, and I don't think Democrats have even gotten that point.
Well,
they haven't gotten that.
It's a complete lack of self-awareness because they should be sitting back and be like, "Oh, everyone likes this." No, nobody does. In fact, they dislike you so bad they elected that guy.
Right. Thanks for voting him in. No. You got him voted in.
Yeah.
Because you're like, people don't realize
They would rather that
yeah
than the Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, like all these people. They would rather that. You are so disliked and unpalatable that they would rather that.
They can't. I mean, the funny issue with all this is they can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Like when Gavin Newsom, I think a week ago, was like, "I'm just like you. I can't read either." to a black audience. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
That's Joe Biden saying black people can't get fucking ID cards, or that they can't use a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Oh, when
They can't stop. Or Hillary Clinton going, what's your favorite condiment? Oh, hot sauce. I keep it in my purse. Like, are you? Oh my God, you're that tone deaf.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And the thing is, people know it's fake.
Yeah.
Like, they know, you know. If some dude who's never been in the United States came in here and was trying to pass himself off as an American, born of, or a Marylander, like, and then all of a sudden they're talking about boiling crabs, you're like, nah, you're fake.
Right.
We don't boil crabs. You ruin crabs.
You're from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's wild. All right. We've talked enough about this. Let us know your thoughts on Iran. If you want to bash Trump, bash Trump. Hey, this is the number 16 conservative podcast in America. So
we just spent how much time bashing Trump? We bashed the Democrats too, but
I'm sure I feel like we gave equal bashing.
yeah.
Want to thank Adam Chubbuck, TACMD.com, TACMD.com. Want to thank him for sponsoring our dumbass takes. And if you need anything to do with real estate and or mortgage services, please go to TACMD.com. That's TACMD.com. And we'll talk to you next week.